if my handle, as the club head swings, starts to move towards the ball line, can you see where the club face is going to point? Because that right shoulder is going to give the handle itself enough energy to keep moving to strike down, but I'm still going to be able to feel the swing. I discussed the break phase in my most recent videos, where I talk about how in a golf swing, on the way down, the handle must break for the club head to swing, that allows you to really start to get energy of the club head down through strike to allow you to hit down at 3.7 from the inside and to hit a bending ball to the left. It is important that you follow my grip series. First of all, get your hands on the golf club in the right manner. Stand to the golf ball in the right manner by checking out some of my setup videos. Now, a few of you are coming at me with saying, Stuart, oh, this break phase and you talking about the swinging of the golf club must surely mean we've got a flip through strike. Now, we must understand that I discussed simply the head weight in relation to the handle in the moment that the club head weight swung past the handle. Now, the physical truth is that we want this head weight to swing past the handle through just before the golf ball to just after the golf ball. The reality is this is not an exact science. The head weight does swing, but as you rightly say or wrongly say, there is a way to turn the face over with a closing loft. That club head is swinging past the handle. And the second one, the club head is swinging past the handle and the loft is not closing down. One would perceive this as a flip. One would perceive this as a release with loft. Two different ways of orientating the rotational factors of the club head itself. The reality is, whether that club head is swinging past you with a loft turned down or a club head swinging past you with a loft turned up, that club, my friends, has swung. And it's swung because there is a slowing down of the handle between hip high and the golf ball, which allows the mass, the head weight, to then swing and realize your potential energy. If you continue to pull, you will not allow the energy transfer to come from the pull and swing phase. That first video of the break phase, I simply discussed the break phase and the swinging moment of the head. Today, we're going to get a little bit more detail. I'm going to bring to you two videos, one on the irons, one on the driver, about the break phase. Today, this is about the irons. The iron break phase that will allow you to start to understand that we get still the swing of the head, but when we allow the club head to swing, I'm still able to hit down on the golf ball and hit a draw. As opposed to where a lot of you have believed that what I'm inspiring is a break phase that gets you hitting up on the ball, that would then inevitably get you hitting the ball a little bit left. Let's appreciate that when the golf club is swinging, we are trying to get this club head to swing on this angle. So when we set up to the golf ball like so, I'm looking to get that club head to swing on this angle. Now, I did a video on handle path. This is a crucial ingredient to go into this swing moment of the golf swing. Let me go and grab the box. If you haven't watched the handle path video, please go and watch it because this will complement that video. understanding that the club head through strike is going to swing whether you like it or not. Now, depending on where the handle orientation is going, if that club head is swinging, and you can see face on, that club head is swinging, if my handle, as the club head swings, starts to move towards the ball line, can you see where the club face is going to point? If I move the handle back underneath me, look how the face now opens itself out. This flip that everybody talks about is based on a club face that's coming from the inside, a handle that is going out to the right, which now points the loft to the camera. And at that point, the gap between the handle and the golf ball has now narrowed up. So this gap here, it used to be here. Now the handle is forwards. The face is open. And so what you're now needing to do is to close the face over. Handle is traveling out to the right. And the face now closes to the left. What I'm asking you to do, and what I'm asking you to appreciate, is that more the club head pitches around where my left thumb is, and the head arcs on that radius, as opposed to that motion, the handle going inside out, the face open, you closing the face down, the club head closing over and the handle moving out to the right. The head weight is still swinging, but I think you'll agree that the club head swinging looks very different when you look at it down the line when I'm making that motion, handle inside out, club head unloading, compared to the handle staying underneath me, i.e. the pressure down, which I talk extensively at that video there, the pressure down and the club head swinging. Now all of a sudden, the handle underneath me, the club head swinging, now keeps the face in a very different orientation. Club head is swinging, the loft is staying there. Inside out, club head swings, handle track continues on the same direction. So how that head swings in relation to the orientation of the handle will either turn your club into a flipper, as many people call it, or a club unloading with loft. The reality is, if you are a flipper, you have to have flip to make your ball go or resemble some sort of straight shot. Or else if you didn't flip, your ball would go so far right because you've applied this garbage information of moving the handle inside out. If you didn't flip the toe down, the thing would go so far right, which is why, as a coach, I have a massive, massive problem with people tucking their elbows in and trying to get side bend in their swing and get the handle up, because that, my friends, is going to try and get you flipping to your heart's content. So when we come to an iron swing, because the ball is in the middle of the stance, or much closer to the middle of the stance than it is with a driver, we must understand that we are going to meet that golf ball earlier in the circle. We're going to meet it earlier in this part of the circle, not in this part of the circle. When you meet it slightly to the right of my left shoulder, that golf club is going to have some sort of open club face relative to where you might otherwise be. So what you're going to need to feel is more of a sensation that because the club head is not going to unload fully, what you're going to need to feel is that part of the break phase and the swing of the head is harnessed with a bit more mobility with the right shoulder. I'm still swinging the head weight. I'm still swinging it around that pitch that I've talked about at the start here. Handle underneath me, not swinging it outside, inside out, absolute garbage. Handle underneath me, the club head is still swinging, but this right shoulder is going to keep moving as I do it. Because that right shoulder is going to give the handle itself enough energy to keep moving, to strike down, but I'm still going to be able to feel the swing. So when I'm hitting an iron, I'm absolutely feeling exactly the same feels as I would with a driver. But with the iron, I'm feeling like my right shoulder keeps going just a little bit longer, that still allows me to hit down, straighten the path up, and hit a straight shot. I'm still feeling the break phase occur. This is a 5-iron, by the way. I'm still feeling the break phase occur, but my right shoulder feels like it's continuing and allowing it to work with the break phase. Now, the right shoulder moving is moving it forwards, which again, there'll be a proliferation out there of you saying, oh my goodness, the right shoulder forwards. Absolutely. Get it out of your brain that you should be keeping that right shoulder back. Absolute nonsense. That right shoulder should move forwards, that left leg should work back because we're getting some energy up through the floor. Check out my rotation videos. So now I've got my right shoulder moving, the club head swinging, my left leg working, that all harnesses this break phase and allows the break phase to still occur, but allows me once again to continue to hit down on the golf ball. And it still keeps my path nicely lined up. It still keeps me hitting down and hitting straight. I mean, I just keep on getting lucky. I mean, there's enough of you out there that are throwing BS at me, and I've never heard so much rubbish in all my life. Have a day off, will you? So therefore, understand that this break phase will feel slightly different. I'm going to talk more extensively about the break phase with the driver in another video, but hopefully this video has given you an idea about the flip, understanding why that is prevalent in your golf game. If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed. If you didn't have the flip, you would be worse for it. Understand how the right shoulder with the break phase with an iron has to be brought into play, and understand that the driver feel is going to be slightly different, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. Hopefully that's given you something to think about. If I've offered up some information that you didn't otherwise know, maybe share it with a friend and consider subscribing while you're here. Thanks so much for watching. That, my friends, is good coaching.